questions about Islam. Why is it that I have to fast? Why is it that I dress in a particular way? Why is it that I eat certain foods? One of the most common questions children may not ask but come to their minds is, why do I pray? What's the purpose of my salah? Something that we do so frequently in our day, yet oftentimes we're unable to ask the question. So if my child comes to me and says, Baba, Mama, why is it that I pray? What answer should I give? This is a very lengthy conversation, but just very briefly, I want to point out 3 things, inshallah, we can use as a way of responding to this question, whether to our children or anyone else who asks. Because obviously the most conspicuous part of being a Muslim is our daily prayer. Now, why do we get together? There are obvious reasons, such as, number 1, the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us everything, we worship Allah as He asks us, not to pay back Allah, no, but a show and display of our servitude to Allah. So the first reason is worship and servitude. The second reason, which has less to do with ukhrawi, afterlife concerns, one way we can tell our children is the concept of community. We congregate together despite our ethnicity, despite our background, our social standing, something very similar to Hajj. Once we don the ihram, our social, financial status is all left behind. When we come to stand over here, whether I'm making 6 figures or 5 figures or 3 figures, it doesn't matter. I'm going to stand in the same row with the person next to me or not. So the second is the idea of a community, brotherhood and sisterhood brought together. But the third point is what I wanted to talk about, inshallah we'll talk about more in the future, is a reason Allah mentions in the Quran Himself. That إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. That one of the objectives of prayer and salah is, by me praying salah, I will develop a quality in my life where I avoid those things that are haram and those things that are immoral. That more concentration in my salah means more concentration outside of my salah. More restraint in my salah means more restraint outside of my salah. How we get to that is a separate question. So just 3 quick notes we can take when we're asked about what's the purpose of prayer. Number 1 is worship to the one who has given me everything that I own, everything, my purpose of existence is for Allah. So I display that by worshiping Allah. Number 2, the concept of a community. And that's why jama'ah, congregation, is so important, because it allows us to fulfill one of the objectives of prayer. And number 3 is that it helps us to avoid what is haram and what is wrong once our prayer is done correctly. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to fulfill the rights of salah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who benefit from the salah. And we ask Allah to make salah part and parcel of our lives and the lives of our family. Jazakumullah khairan. Inshallah, after the remaining sunan, we're going to have our weekly hadith lesson. Everyone is requested to participate. Jazakumullah khairan.